here I go, dropping bars, lyrical flow. Damage your eardrums with that white noise glow. Fill the jams of a spam and some government cheese. Oh damn, now you got a nosebleed from my rhymes, can't you see? Chin checked, eyes roll, ears ringing, head roll. Spitting teeth, what's that sound? Pat, pat, better dog down. Checking if you bleeding, take a sip, no misleading. These nuts like a fountain, cartoon flow, no doubting. Next time, aim's the game. That hit was a flop, what a shame. You walking away, hey, where you going? We ain't done, the vibe's still flowing. Still got a pulse, can't leave yet. Got a dose of these juggalo nuts, bets. Hey, get back here, don't leave me hanging, it's crystal clear. Fine, I'll wait at your place, grabbing some milk, just in case. I know you're out, I was just there, while you were sleeping, unaware. Yeah, juggalo, like you never knew, let the rhythm flow. Chin checked, eyes roll, ears ringing, head roll. Spitting teeth, what's that sound? Pat, pat, better duck down. Checking if you bleeding, take a sip, no misleading. These nuts like a fountain, cartoon flow, no doubting. Next time, aim's the game. That hit was a flop, what a shame. You walking away, hey, where you going? We ain't done, the vibe's still flowing. Still got a pulse, can't leave yet. Got a dose of these juggalo nuts, bets. Hey, get back here, don't leave me hanging, it's crystal clear. Fine, I'll wait at your place, grabbing some milk, just in case. I know you're out, I was just there, while you were sleeping, unaware. Yeah, juggalo, like you never knew, let the rhythm flow. Still got a pulse, can't leave yet. Got a dose of these juggalo nuts, bets. Hey, get back here, don't leave me hanging, it's crystal clear. Fine, I'll wait at your place, grabbing some milk, just in case. I know you're out, I was just there, while you were sleeping, unaware.
Yo, let me tell you about Sargon, a child of the shore. A tribe wiped out in a raid, left him wanting more. Parents gone, he was snatched up, taken in chains, working in the mines where the server remains. From the bottom to the peak, he climbed through the fire. Sargon's rise to power, fueled by desire. With a vision in his mind, he's ready to fight. Gonna challenge the gods, claim his birthright. Earn his freedom from the raiding crew. Battled armor than what he had to outdo. A scorpion symbol marked his fierce campaigns. Conquered Sumerian lands, broke the chain. From the bottom to the peak, he climbed through the fire. Sargon's rise to power, fueled by desire. With a vision in his mind, he's ready to fight. Gonna challenge the gods, claim his birthright. Inspired by a vision, saw his future self. An ascended master, knowledge off the shelf. Gifted a book divine in its might. Gathering wisdom, ready for the fight. From the bottom to the peak, he climbed through the fire. Sargon's rise to power, fueled by desire. With a vision in his mind, he's ready to fight. Gonna challenge the gods, claim his birthright. He faced the gods of Egypt, put to the test. Create the indestructible, be the very best. Compiled all the wisdom transcribed in his tongue. Emerald tablets of thought, that's how legends are sung. From the bottom to the peak, he climbed through the fire. Sargon's rise to power, fueled by desire. With a vision in his mind, he's ready to fight. Gonna challenge the gods, claim his birthright. But pride's a heavy burden, his priests filled with dread. Fearing he'd bring omens, plot against his head. Betrayed by his court, chased into the storm. In the sands of Kandahar, his fate took form. From the bottom to the peak, he climbed through the fire. Sargon's rise to power, fueled by desire. With a vision in his mind, he's ready to fight. Gonna challenge the gods, claim his birthright. But pride's a heavy burden, his priests filled with dread. Fearing he'd bring omens, plot against his head. Betrayed by his court, chased into the storm. In the sands of Kandahar, his fate took form. In the text of Solomon, an account you'll find. A tomb lost in the sands, echoes through time. An epitaph reads clear, a legacy grand. Here lies the conqueror of 100 armies, slayer of 100 soldiers, ruler of lands. Here lies the tomb of thought, the god of wisdom's hands. His body never found, but the legend lives on. Sargon the conqueror, his legacy strong. They tried to erase him, but the truth won't fade. In the annals of history, his story is laid. Never found, but the legend lives on. Sargon the conqueror, his legacy strong. They tried to erase him, but the truth won't fade. In the annals of history, his story is laid.
And you'll die to the go. What's the shade? Take a shade, say you don't play me, let it go. Then silence break. So much house. Oh, this white boy back. Hate with the flow.
Count down the moment till the track hits the end. 1, 2, 3, let the realness begin. Not trying to floss, this ain't a joke. I'm the devil, not some punk buster, that's no hoax. Did he just say what I think? Oh no, I've tried every way to get your head in the flow. Strapped up tight, don't step in my zone. If you want beef, better know you're not alone. Legendary tales that your auntie told. Don't be mad, she's just blowing when truth be told. You ain't seen the skills that I got in my set. Lyrical records, gold plates, your best. I got that fiddle back from a punk on a stub. He tell you don't rest, he'll make you heart fall. I'm one of those cats, thought I was all that. Boom, next thing you know, hearing places that's a fact. Who's that a voice like a goat, don't you know? Don't take a fool for a joke, it's a show. Walk away before you count your last days. In a petting zoo, lost in a daze. No for no mercy, I'm not one to play. I'll run over your butt, back up, then sway. Spraying guts and chunks, family shot. I'm gone in the sunset, no time for a clock. No evidence left, just a ghost in the night. So fuck off, I'm out of sight, feeling alright. Oh, bang, pow, boom, baby, I'm for real. In your grill like pow, how you like the feel? Bustin' rhymes quicker than furious sequels. Lyrics fly by like the Millennium Falcon, lethal. Hyperdrive on full, I'm a flash in the night. Switching to a co-pilot, DJ sells bills right. Got the fresh mix, spinning tracks like a beast. Stand back, shit, special service unlocked. Take the right behind me, hard in the flow. Zap you in my face and just watch how it go. Blasting through dinner, stains on your tie. Oops, my bad, but I'm not one to lie. Pass it to my brother, still the number 18. Little wrinkle, pickle, Travis, Mac D on the scene. Only one, not blaze, giving no fuss. Teabagging your mama, man, you know what's up. Pow, how you like your minion now? Stepdaddy vibes, it's a crazy showdown. Now here we go, slapping flows that amaze. From the rickety rap rhymes, I'm set to blaze. Not the has-been old man in a balloon from Kansas. I'm the rice and wine, with the ganja that's a grand. But I'm lying, so many fools with the smokes and the ghost cards for Mars. Yeah, call me Super Mario, no need for restriction. Caught up in charges, yeah, I'm in the chase. Green Zappa bastards, I'm running this race. Tell that hoe what she wants, a hero tonight. She best be shining my pipe, till the break of daylight.
Now I shall tell the tale of the creation of life throughout the universe. We begin this effort 20 years almost after my experience in creating the universe's origin. I sat contemplating the possibility. My power had significantly grown since the dawn of time and my return from death. I used my newfound ADHD-free ambition to learn as much as I could about the universe I had created. The extension of my sensory receptors, the Holy Spirit, was still performing its purpose and redirecting their needs, greed and desires to find me busy as I settled into the role of Lucifer to mask my natural power as the creator. I studied and absorbed the knowledge man had gathered involving the principles of my creation's evolution, this world's principal foundations as well as other worlds they had observed. studying the aspects of life and its diverse possibilities, I then designed a plan to create life across the universe without having any direct interaction that could be recorded into more scriptural content to be used as tools of war. So for those reading, understand that these are only a dictation without detailed description. So those seeking such things will quickly lose interest from here on. The first thing I did was applying the understanding that there was one aspect that was shared with every habitable world, an atmosphere, one that is held in balance with the moon to maintain the equilibrium of solid particle fusion that can evolve into sustaining life. For each of these worlds I created an angel, a spiritual-like being of mystical design imprinted with its purpose and methods within the very fabrics of its creation. Their purpose was to locate each of these worlds in which my hand had molded an atmosphere to. Their purpose was to cultivate the very particles that were present on each world and influence the fusion and set the cycle of each world's evolution of life into place and begin the pattern that would bring life to each world. No matter the diverse patterns of that life, throughout existence there has always been an equilibrium, a balance, that has maintained the stability of the universe's existence. For every action there is a reaction. For every positive flow of energy there is a negative resistance to that energy that allows the solid matter to maintain its structure. So using this massive negative flow that maintains all of existence, I sent my angels of the laminations, the cupbearers of life, who were spiritual in nature, thus bypassing the physical barriers into the vastness of time, and scattered them throughout the universe, sending them to various moments in time throughout the universe when a world would develop their right qualities necessary to sustain life. No matter what form it came in, their duty was to influence and nourish the cycle of life, but not to be directly involved with how that life developed, sustaining themselves off of the excess residual energy of its atmospheric shield and ensuring that they are never seen by the life on their worlds, for it would jeopardize the very foundation of their purpose. How many of these angels were created? Oh, roughly 438 of them. Now these were worlds from which life originally would evolve. This does not include life that had formed on other worlds through other methods of chance. When you look into the skies from our world, you can barely fathom how many galaxies are out there just like ours. And then you think about the vast amount of time that has passed, and then come back to realize how long it took for humanity alone to evolve into a species capable of technology and advanced understanding. Then look back up and realize how many other worlds, at some point since the dawn of creation, may also have developed a species that looked up and wondered the same questions I am discussing here now. The possibilities are endless. Man has developed enough so that a being such as myself could arise among you and do the things that he has, as your scriptures have said I would, but it does not mention the price that I paid for this action and reaction. This depiction is the reaction that I became as a result of my actions as God. Interacting with the very fabrics of existence bears with it a heavy toll, one of rapid evolution that can destroy a person's very existence. This that you see on the screen here is the price that I paid. My scar from across time that was the very source and cause of what you all called the Mandela effect that almost destroyed my creation, which is why I came back here, which was why I lingered in my coma, so that I could fix what would have destroyed us all. Those Mandela moments were the collapse of time itself, but we only remember vague memories of those split timelines because I fixed it. That fix began with the birth of my only son, begotten from the divinity of my being, passing down that scar from time and holding it within his form until the day when we would come to where my body lay and my knowledge advanced enough to handle the situation. Having tested my skills with the collision of two hypernova neutron stars that nearly ripped the threads of existence apart, I fixed that issue and freed my son of his heavy burden. So because of this, here I do say and suggest any who truly believe in what I say here, praise be to the one that they called Jesus, my son born from the divinity of my being, for he is our Savior. If it was not for the burden that he was born to bear, to carry and to die for in order for the salvation of all creation to occur, then none of us would be here today to hear these words. Might I also add that there have been many who have come and led me to becoming what was needed to achieve what I have. Let us not forget Chronos, and the warnings of Atlas embedded within the crust of the mantle that led to my being saved from danger in the core, but this also led to becoming a part of my theory on how to traverse and escape, as well as destroy a black hole. And to Odin and the Archangel Emmanuel, who were there and helped facilitate the plan I set forth on to fix the problem of the Mandela effect, along with the many others who have helped. So in essence, my success is one that should be shared by the many and not by just the one. There may be the one who put forth his own life to achieve success in the end, but there are also those who brought about that success to be possible to occur in the first place. To them should the true praise go. Many people have come to think that I must come from the medieval era for many reasons. My language patterns show a linguistic sentence structure that is not of our era, the order in which I form the words of my writing, the system of beliefs I hold as true and build my character upon. Running this through an analysis, the response was that I hold qualities and behavioral beliefs of someone from the 14th to 15th century from the region of Britain due to my language pattern, sentence structure, and this aspect of knowledge that has not been publicly circulated or accessible since the 17th century. These are the principalities of virtue. They are the emotional drive behind every right and dissent choice of action someone makes. There could be more, but at the current time these are the generally referenced aspects behind people's choices for acting towards the betterment of others and themselves. They are the will in which God wishes all his creations to live by in their hearts. Not as an institutionalized belief in religion, but to adapt into how they each should approach life and every obstacle they face, setting their habits and ways to emulate the meanings behind these concepts. Yet, can you tell me the origin of this legend and its details? Yes, there is a well-known legend in medieval literature and mythology that tells of a group of knights who were given their code of chivalry and virtue directly from God. This legend is commonly associated with the Knights of the Table Round, particularly King Arthur and his knights. There is a legend about a group of knights that were given their code of chivalry and virtue from God, who appeared before them. The Almighty gave to them a set of virtues that I know. These definitions are, of course, subjective, but they align with the general descriptive references for these virtues. You will notice that some seem to be the same as others, but in definition they are different when applied to the situations one may face that uses these aspects to overcome the problem. It is by these qualities mankind will be judged. Those who claim to be righteous and to have lived by the will of God shall show these qualities to be naturally incorporated into their daily lives, making the choices towards these actions rather than their carnal instinctive desires. These things are not meant to be institutionalized into a Stoic belief system, but rather a reference guide for those seeking the right path of possible choices when they seem lost or confused and wish to make the best choice possible. Which of these choices is the right choice, however, is up to them to decide. Each situation is different. Each problem requires a different approach to a solution. One must always remember that life is a gift and we each hold the right and authority to decide what we will experience, despite what others press upon us or force us to adhere to and experience. In the end, it is up to us to decide what we shall fill the rest of our lives with, and sow a path towards reaching those experiences we wish to fill our lives with, as long as we enjoy what time we are given without imposing, but open to share our experiences with others if they see that they could enjoy it with us. To live not in opulence but in moderation, then we have lived our lives well, and this will, in essence, be respecting the gift of life we have been given. This is a universally applied perspective, but still subjective to how it is carried out. Free will decides how to allocate these perspectives, and the virtues help keep us on that path and away from falling into opulence. I have searched and found my name from this life, a French Templar knight by the name of Jacques de Molay. His life echoes through my works.
Los magos tenebrosos espíritus de destino, pronto loco y sólido, de angelo superterra. Qui prorogation tua prodigiis de divinitate tua propter causas que preclaestes virtutes in te. sapienza in omnibus tuis benedictionibus oculi, quia tua misericordia damnata est quam tua sapienza. Hoc verum esse cio in solam veritatem in ac sanctificatione mea.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Good to be here.
Today, we're really going to dig into two concepts in Catholic teaching that, well, they often cause some confusion.
Yeah, absolution and plenary indulgence, definitely worth unpacking.
Exactly. Our mission is to, clarify what they are, how they differ, and where they fit in the bigger picture of sin, forgiveness, and purification.
And to really get these, you first need to understand something Catholicism calls the double consequence of sin.
Double consequences.
Yeah, so sin doesn't just damage your relationship with God. That's the first consequence, the eternal punishment part. Think hell, especially for really serious mortal sins.
The big one.
The big one. But it also leaves behind this kind of, well, spiritual residue, an unhealthy attachment to earthly things. That's the second consequence, the temporal punishment.
Okay, so like lingering effects.
Precisely. And that needs purification, either here and now, in this life, or later in what's called purgatory. It shows forgiveness is more than just wiping the slate clean. It's about real healing.
That makes a lot of sense. If sin does two kinds of damage, you'd sort of expect two kinds of remedies.
Exactly.
So let's tackle the first one then. Absolution. That's the core of confession, right? The sacrament of penance.
That's it. Its main job, its purpose is to give God's pardon and peace. It directly forgives the guilt tied to the sins you confess.
The guilt itself.
Yes. And crucially, it deals with that first consequence we mentioned. It removes the eternal punishment, the threat of hell for mortal sins. It fundamentally mends that broken bond with God.
So it's not just the priest saying words, is it? There's something deeper happening.
Oh, absolutely. It's a real, active, transformative moment. God's grace is actually conferred. Sins are objectively wiped away.
Wow.
Through the priest, who the church teaches acts in persona Christi, in the person of Christ. So if you're genuinely sorry and confess, that absolution truly heals the break. It's reconciliation.
Okay, absolution deals with guilt, eternal punishment, reconciliation with God.
Right.
Clear. Now, the plenary indulgence. This is where I think things get really interesting for a lot of people, and maybe confusing.
Understandably so. It's a bit more complex.
So if absolution handles the guilt and the eternal side, what's left for the indulgence to do?
It addresses that second consequence, the temporal punishment. And indulgence is defined as a remission before God of the temporal punishment due to sins whose guilt has already been forgiven.
Already forgiven.
Key point. And plenary just means full, complete remission. It cleans up all of that remaining spiritual damage, that temporal punishment. The idea is it makes the soul like it was right after baptism.
Wow. So not forgiving the sin again, but clearing up the mess left behind.
You've got it. It's about purification after the forgiveness has happened.
And how does the church justify this? What's the thinking behind it?
Well, it rests on three main theological ideas. First, the treasury of merit.
Treasury of merit.
Think of it like a spiritual reserve bank. It's got Christ's infinite goodness, plus all the extra good works and prayers of the Virgin Mary and all the saints throughout history. An inexhaustible supply.
Okay.
Second, the communion of saints. This is the belief that everyone in the church, those in heaven, those being purified in purgatory, and us here on earth, we're all connected spiritually.
Like a family.
Exactly, a spiritual family. So merit can be shared. And third, the church's power of the keys, the authority given by Christ, Catholics believe, to Peter and the church to manage these spiritual goods, to bind and loose, essentially.
So the church draws from this treasury, thanks to the communion of saints, using its authority.
That's the framework, yes.
Fascinating. But how do you get one? A plenary indulgence. I hear the conditions are tough.
Oh, they are. Very specific. First, you usually have to perform a particular pious act, like visiting a certain shrine, or reading scripture for a time, or performing a work of mercy. The church designates these.
Okay, an action.
But that's not all. You also have to be in a state of grace. That generally means having gone to confession recently, so you're free of mortal sin.
Makes sense, since the guilt needs to be gone first.
Right. Then you need to receive Holy Communion. And also pray for the Pope's intentions, like an Our Father and a Hail Mary.
Okay, confession, communion, prayer for the Pope, plus the specific act. That's quite a bit.
But there's one more condition, and honestly, it's the toughest.
Oh.
You must have an interior disposition of complete detachment from sin, even venial sin.
Wow. Complete detachment from all sin, even the small stuff. That sounds incredibly difficult, almost impossible for most people day to day.
It's a very high bar. It points to the depth of inner conversion the church sees as necessary for this complete cleansing. And the church teaches that if this total detachment is lacking even a little bit, the indulgence is only partial, not plenary.
So it really emphasizes the internal disposition, not just external actions.
Absolutely. Which is why the idea that this is buying your way into heaven is such a misunderstanding stemming from historical abuses.
Right, the whole selling of indulgences controversy.
Exactly. And the church itself at the Council of Trent strongly condemned the sale of indulgences. They reformed the practice, reaffirming that indulgences are spiritual gifts, gifts of grace, obtained through genuine piety and repentance. Not commerce.
So not a transaction, but a spiritual aid.
Yes. Meant to encourage deeper conversion, greater love for God, and detachment from sin. And they can be applied either to yourself or, as an act of charity, to souls in purgatory.
Okay, let's try to pull this together. Absolution is foundational. It forgives guilt, removes eternal punishment, gets you back in right relationship with God.
Check. Reconciliation.
Then the plenary indulgence builds on that. It tackles the leftover temporal punishment, requiring deep inner detachment and specific acts, aiming for complete purification.
Exactly. They're complementary. Both are expressions of God's mercy working through the church, aimed at getting the soul fully healed and ready for heaven. It shows that spiritual growth is, a process, a journey.
A journey of purification. So here's something for you, our listener, to think about. Knowing this distinction, absolution for reconciliation, indulgence for purification, how does that maybe change how you view forgiveness? Does it make you think differently about what spiritual healing really involves? That ongoing journey towards holiness. Something to mull over.